Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'm currently doing a camera test for my iPhone 14, and I'm going to compare it to my iPhone 12 as I want to take a look at the differences and the similarities that both of these cameras have. So as you can see, I'm currently in my backyard recording off of my iPhone 14, and what we're looking at here is an f1.5 aperture 12 megapixel wide camera, and this camera does get pretty good views. And the ultra wide is an f2.4 aperture ultra wide 12 megapixel camera. Again, you won't notice much of a difference coming from the iPhone 12. You can see the bushes in the backyard. I will be taking a picture, obviously, for another wallpaper. But it is really nice. And we do have some pretty great cameras. Here I am recording off of the 12 megapixel f1.6 aperture camera on the iPhone 12. The iPhone 12 doesn't have a couple of features that the iPhone 14 does have, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. But here we are in the same exact spot. Here is the ultra wide camera, which is an f2.4 aperture camera on my iPhone 12. As you can see, it is windy outside, but I am recording this camera test, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Now, the iPhone 14 has action mode. You're not gonna find that on the iPhone 12. Action mode is a new feature on the, well, specific to the iPhone 14 and newer. Basically, if I were to run or do a sort of fast walk here, so basically, the iPhone tried its best to keep stable footage. Now let me run to the bushes area here, or sort of walk fast. Basically the same thing. So again, the iPhone 14 has action mode. And what that does is if you run or you jog or anything like that, you won't end up with shaky footage. That's across the iPhone 14, 14 Plus, 14 Pro, and the 14 Pro Max as well. Along with action mode, we also have cinematic mode. I don't know what setting this might be, so I might have to change it. But cinematic mode, if I probably... See, now we're getting a really good shot of how it works exactly here. So here is my iPhone 12. I'm blocking part of the camera. And as you can see, the house up ahead is somewhat blurry. That is cinematic mode on the iPhone 14, as it tries its best to keep sort of stable footage and blur the image that is around it. Here I am recording in 4K 30 on my iPhone 14 in cinematic mode. Again, the house in the image or in the video is blurry, while my iPhone is staying clear in the subject. That is what cinematic mode is. That and action mode you're not going to find on the iPhone 12. Here is a look at the front-facing camera on my iPhone 14. These are pretty nice cameras on this particular device. And obviously, you get the same sort of features. You get cinematic mode, 4K 30, and all of those other features on the iPhone 14. You will get all of those really great features on the iPhone 14 if you record in cinematic mode, which again, the 12 doesn't have that feature. So I am recording in cinematic mode on my iPhone 14. Hopefully you guys can see me, as it is really bright outside. Here I am recording from 12 megapixel f2.2 aperture camera. I believe it's the exact same on the iPhone 14, but this is on my iPhone 12 this time. And again, You don't get no action mode or no cinematic mode. That's only reserved for the iPhone 14, 14 Plus, 14 Pro, and 14 Pro Max models. This is a regular 14, but they all get the feature. So I really like that on the iPhone 14. You're not gonna notice much coming from an iPhone 12 to an iPhone 14, other than probably, I don't know if there are microphone improvements. Hopefully you guys can hear me over this wind as I am talking loud, so that you guys can hear me. But you won't notice much of a difference coming from the iPhone 12 to the 14. But I do have to stop recording as my battery is low on the iPhone 12. So that's my camera comparison, my iPhone 12 versus my iPhone 14. Leave a comment down below. What do you think of the iPhone 14? And if you will consider this device here in 2026. I've had this iPhone for 2 weeks. Yesterday made 2 weeks, obviously. I already made a 1 week later video last week. So I'm not gonna make a 2 week later video. Though I will make a 1 month later video on April 5th. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment down below which iPhone you're using. As I have both my 12 and my 14. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.